and you're using the others. You're basically, if you're going to help her, you have to kind of explain how you're going to help her in this.
Oh, well, it seems to me as though they need to be lined up and she can get a clear statement out of each one of them. They need to be sort of organized into a, you're over here, you already talked, you go over there. No, you stop pushing, let the old lady talk first, that kind of thing.
So this is
I have an idea. Yeah. Marina can give the coffees to the ones who have told her something. So after you talk to the mayor, then Marina will give you a cup of coffee or pour coffee for you.
Yeah. Right. That's probably the only thing Marina can do that helps the situation.
I was also thinking of getting Marina away from the direct interaction with them before
you can because they probably haven't eaten very good in a week, so maybe she can cook something, even if it's they don't know where the meat comes from.
They can feed them.
They will probably be happy if they get something.
Yeah, go ahead and give them bacon and a little pudding over there on the bar. That sounds like
whatever. Make them happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably have to ask her, but can you do this? And Marina will be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Now I want this to be. I want this to. I want you to roll, and what you're trying to do is recognize. You're trying to collect more information. That's what's happening here.
Useful information, not more useful.
Yes,
useful.
And this means that you have, first of all, you have 4. So you have like 4, 6, 8, 10, and then you have help. So that's 12. So you're up on a D12 immediately.
Very nice.
But I just, that's very nice. But you can still roll 1, 2, and 3.
Which is what we don't want.
Oh, I know about that one.
Yeah. And just so that you know, there is an option. There's always an if you want to have what's called a blue die, then you can buy a blue die, but to a cost. You get to take a kind of a card that forces you to write things on your table. So if you on your
what kind of things?
It depends on what you draw, but it's usually things that complicates the story that is on your character sheet that tells you. So
blue die.
Wait! What do the blue die give me?
The blue die is a die that you can use anytime, but once you used it, you can save that. So you can get one.
I recall, do you roll the blue die and add it to your other die? Correct?
No,
you replace.
You don't.
Okay.
So you replace it. So it's kind of
So basically, you roll 2 die and take the greater number.
Yeah, but you can first roll the die that you have now, a D12, and then if that's not successful, then you get to roll the blue die. But if you succeed in the first one, then you can keep the blue die and roll it anytime.
Right.
No.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if you want to take that card, then that's we have these are they're called villkorskort. There's a kind of so after this scene you have to write a specific, depending on what card you select here, and that you have to follow the instructions here and write and establish fact about your character.
Pay later. And blue die now.
Let's go ahead and then we'll see.
Yeah. So first of all, do you have dice in front of you?
Yes, I have blue ones and red ones.
Yeah.
So just start by rolling the red one, and then you decide if you want to use the blue one or not.
Can you move the sheet so I can see what the numbers are? Please.
Move the sheet closer.
So I can see the numbers. If I rolled a 7, what is that? A success or a partial success?
That's a definite success.
Then fine. I'm going with that.
Yeah. I think that's
Also,
that's a
what is the size of the blue die?
Yes.
12.
12. It's the same as
Okay,
whatever
so
it is
that
you
I'm
have.
going to save.
That's when
No,
you get a blue
no,
die.
it's
Is when you already have a good die. There's no point in
So-
getting it before or something. Right.
Good. Would have
No.
been nice to know before, but it was a good thing to do now.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a safety now.
Yeah.
So what this is, you discover hidden things and get time to prepare for the coming move.
Exactly what we want.
You basically you basically get to ask me 2 questions in this.
I feel as though
in
we
this situation.
finally got to listen to the full music for May. We may have heard little pieces of the music for May, when we saw her before, like when she was introduced. But now
Exactly.
this is the May theme that we heard.
Yes.
Right, and all the while we watched her take all these notes and things.
Exactly. I think you're really what's happening is that you see the meeting going from a kind of a cozy town meeting where everyone's chatting to something really organized. There's a line, there's coffee, and there's like making questions, taking notes. And like, this is immediately, I don't know, this probably, it's also very efficient because like in just 10 minutes, everyone that has something to say has been able to say that. And you can now kind of collect these things into you had 2 questions. You had the one, what can you remind me what the question was?
Basically, when and where
And what
the demise
when,
of our dear friend.
yes. You can say that your dear friend, the curse, she was one of the first who kind of, they're sticking with the story, disappeared. But as you said, what you can determine of that is that she hasn't been shot. She hasn't been like murdered. There was some kind of, there were like people in the town. It was the gunslinger, and there was some kind of like entity is the word that you some not human thing in there. And it was very scary, and there was magic. That's the only word you can like. And what you can see that when they say disappeared, they mean that by in some way she was kind of killed with either this like a supernatural being or with some kind of supernatural magic way. That's what
So
you can.
disappeared
That's
means
what
literally taken by the occult forces.
exactly. And I think they stick with the disappear thing because that's what they actually saw, that she dissolved. She went like from being flesh and blood to becoming nothing.
And okay.
But the other and then the other question was when, and it seems like if you like the timeline that you get, the really scattered timeline is that she and her daughter and a kind of a gang of loose henchmen, or what do you call them?
That's exactly right. Who would imagine she would have such a thing?
No, exactly. They were the first to arrive, and they kind of bribed the mayor, and they tried to collect a lot of, and it tried him to get to do stuff. But then the gunslinger arrived, and then this like the great entity also arrived, and all the shooting and the fighting started, and it seemed like the curse, the gunslinger, and the entity, they were all after something that had something to do with this town. and the curse and her team, and then immediately when the curse dissolved into nothing and was like evaporated, her like men for hire just they went away. Just there were no ones who were going to pay, and the daughter, the girl, she fled and took some and with the mayor. Was the only one that took her in for the moment.
So the girl was with her when she disappeared. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So that's basically what you can see, and they seem to be. There was something in this that they were like seeking, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to make a couple of things on the game board now. I'm going to mark that you have a blue die. When you buy a blue die the way you have now, Elma, then you always get a D12, but you can get blue die by coincidence sometimes. Like rolling the highest value on a die will immediately produce a new blue die, and so on. So what I'm doing now is like I'm putting one next to your character sheet so we can all see that you have a blue die, and you have to you get to choose when you use this. But as I said, it's there is a cost involved, and that's
Pay now or pay when I use it?
I'm going just to pick a card here from this.
Now we find out.
Yeah. So, and I cannot actually not see where these cards. I can see where it is. So I'm just picking one card here. I think it's this one. Oh, yes. So this is so I randomly draw this card from the pile of these cards, and I'm placing it next to yours, and I'm going to zoom in on it and read it. I can move the camera. It says a secret. This is a flag. This will force. So this is connected to your. You don't have to write anything on your character sheet. This is more a flag type. This is. I'm going to write a flag that says that you are going to reveal a secret that kind of prevents you from reaching the same goal as everyone. And this is going to be placed not now but in the next phase. So this is more of.
This is something that you will be using later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also a reminder to all of you that we as players know that May have a secret.
Of course.
So I'm just writing
because
here.
She seems like such a nice normal person compared with the rest of us. Obviously, she's got some other thing happening with her.
I'm writing May or
You'll
May.
notice that Marina and I both treat her with respect. We probably have a good reason.
So what I'm doing now is placing this flag in here, in this one. So your secret will eventually be revealed, and you don't have to decide right now what that is. But before we end,
Thanks for that.
Before we end this phase, the phase 2, we are in phase 1 now. You will get the scene where you kind of reveal your secret.
Okay.
Any input is highly welcome.
I think by then.
Yeah, but I think we don't need to think about that. This is just build. We can discuss that later. But that's a reminder. We know that there is a secret. There will be a secret.